Yo, what's up, YouTube fan? PringleTheOne in the building. How we doing? Hope we doing good. And today, guys, we bringing back an episode of Why We Love Video Games. And today's person that's going to be telling the story is a buddy of mine. It's the Oblivious Odobo. He actually has his own YouTube channel. So if you want to check it out, I implore you to. He's been playing a lot of Mega Man and been struggling on that. He's going through a little no power-up challenge as well. So listen to his story. Get some marshmallows, some campfires, and some popcorns, and relax and listen to it, man.
Welcome to PringleTheOne's world.
Yo, what's up everybody, Oblivious Double here. I'd like to thank Pringle real quick for letting me do a Why We Love Video Games. Today's video game is going to be Red Dead Revolver for PS2 and original Xbox. I played the original Xbox the first time, and before I did this review, I got the PS2 version and played that till 100% completion. I gotta say, I love that game, and I probably will always come back to that game. I think the reason I really love this video game was because I got this back when I was like 8, and played the shit out of it back then too. It's very arcadey. It's very hard too. You die a lot. It was originally developed by Capcom. I guess that explains the difficulty, you know, like Mega Man in that bullshit. Red Dead Revolver has a lot of bullshit too. But I don't know, it's really fun. There's not that many Western games. Just think about that. How many Western games can you name off the top of your head? And if you're gonna name, and you know what, Red Dead Redemption doesn't count because that is the child of Red Dead Revolver. Capcom originally developed Red Dead Revolver, but the thing is, they sold it off to Rockstar, and Rockstar reworked Red Dead Revolver into what it is now. And then they made the spiritual godchild of that game, Red Dead Redemption, which is a pretty different game, and I don't really love that game. The thing that made Red Dead Revolver unique from that game, in my opinion, was the very arcadey style. Like, the bosses had unique abilities, the characters had unique abilities. Red had, like, Deadeye in Red Dead Redemption. Everyone had Deadeye, and I thought that was pretty lame, man, you know? Like, everyone has Deadeye? Like, that seems kind of lame. Like, in Red Dead Revolver, not just Red had Deadeye, but let's see, the secondary character, Jack Swift, had like quick Deadeye, which was like a quick lock-on, kind of the opposite of Red's Deadeye. And then there's Annie Stokes, who had like an explosive rifle, which would work as, you know, as it says, it explode and you blow up a bunch of guys. It's a very, I just thought it was really good that they gave each character their own unique ability. And then there's the bosses, which were actually difficult. They didn't just die with one headshot. This is my problem with realistic games, in quotation marks, is because you can just one-shot each character in the head. And sure, headshots are hard to get, but come on, you gotta have, you know, where's the fun in that once you get headshots down, you know? Like, you can't rack up a combo like in Red Dead Revolver. Red Dead Revolver really emphasized on shooting people. The more shots you got and landed successfully, the bigger your combo can be. If you killed one guy, that begin the combo. Like, it's one, like there's a 0.1 or times 1, and you get like $4 or $8 for each shot you get, and it's multiplied by each guy you kill during the combo. So if I killed 5 guys and shot 10 times, then that would be if it was $8, it'd be like $80 times 4. Or I can't even remember the example I gave. But I think you get my point. You know, that's just really cool how I had a comboing system and you could rack it up. That's something you would expect from like a Capcom action character game. You know, like DMC and shit. You know, because again, this was originally developed by Capcom. Then there's the weird characters. Each character, like all the bosses, have their own unique abilities and shit, and you have to find out how to kill them using their unique abilities. Like, for instance, one of the earliest bosses you fight is Pig Josh. Pig Josh is a fat ass with dynamite strapped all over him, and he'll blow himself up, which he will not take any damage for, but blow you up in the process. Keep in mind, this was before the guys from Cloverfield formed Platinum, you know, from Capcom. So I like to think that those devs from Platinum actually worked on Red Dead Revolver, because Pig Josh, he seems like the ancestor to fucking Sundowner. Have you guys seen Sundowner from Metal Gear Rising? Just put like a side-by-side photo of those guys next to each other. I think you'll see the resemblance, or at least the same basic concept, you know what I mean? Anyways, the trick to beat not Sundowner, Pig Josh, wasn't to like wait for him to run at you and tear off his shields, because for one, you're not a cyborg ninja in that game, you're a fucking cowboy. What you do is you snuck up behind him and shot him in his back, because he made himself deaf from all the dynamite explosions. I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't even think about that originally. This was on my last run, I believe, that I found this. Was I was talking to the civilians in the hub world in Red Dead Revolver, and they were talking about the character Pig Josh, and one of the old ladies was apparently his teacher, and they talked about how he's hard of hearing because of all the explosions he was in. You know, that was very interesting that they had that world building concept in there. I think that was left behind from Rockstar. From what I can tell, before Rockstar put their hands on it, it was going to be even more arcadey than it already was, and it was going to be more RPG-like, which you know what? It doesn't seem bad. There's so much world building that was put into Red Dead Revolver, it just seems ridiculous that they're never going to continue it. Like, all the characters have their own journals, like the good guys, the bad guys. There's just these journal pages that help you, that you're supposed to get 100% in the game completion, and all of them give background stories to like the areas and the characters, and what else is there? The guns. They even like talk about all the weapons. They gave backstories to all the weapons. That's a lot of extra work to put in there, you know. And then there's the bonus mode in Red Dead Revolver, Redwood Revolver. Redwood Revolver is when you play as like a wooden dummy, and he has a different power up than Red, the regular protagonist you play in Red Dead Revolver, in which he just lights himself up, and you can, basically touch people and they all get lit on fire. There's a lot of problems with that power up, though. One of the most glaring ones is you can't do the combos with that power up, because the power up's only designed. The way the comboing system works is it only works when you shoot people. So when you punch someone or just touch them, like light them on fire, it does not count. Explosions don't count either, unless you actually directly hit them with like the fire bottle or the dynamite, just to make that clear. So Redwood Revolver was very difficult in that you can't rack up combos like you could in the original game, as well as the fact that when his power is deactivated, he can get lit on fire and take damage. So he's extremely vulnerable to that. And I also found when I was playing it recently, like on my last playthrough, that you can glitch his power up, like right before the cutscene happens. If you light him on fire and then the cutscene plays, he will lose his ability to be lit on fire throughout the rest of that mission, from what I can tell, and may even be able to get lit on fire, which really sucked and was bullshit. Like, come on, man. Are you serious? Yeah. Enough about the two main characters that you can play in the base game or story mode. There's also the side characters, Jack Swift and Annie Stokes. I mentioned those two. And then there's Buffalo Soldier. Buffalo Soldier is just the black soldier guy. That's basically what a Buffalo Soldier is just black soldier guy. That's basically his name. They never give Buffalo Soldier another name. But he has to be one of the most badass characters, especially in versus mode, because he has like the explosion rifle like Anne, but he doesn't have the animation like Anne, so they're just like instant projectiles that blow up. They're more hit scan than actual projectiles. Buffalo Soldier's explosion attack. I guess the same could be said about Anne, but again, Buffalo Soldier's is pretty much instantaneous because he doesn't have like the same animation as Anne Stokes. He just stands up and does it. Also, from what I can tell, it does a lot more damage, so I kind of wish that there was like a mode where you just play Buffalo Soldier the entire time, because he's a badass. Like, the only mode he had was fucking, what was the mode he had? Oh yeah, in story mode, all he does is he sits in a fucking wagon and shoots people, and you can't go anywhere. You just sit there and shoot people. You can run it inside the wagon, but that's really not much space to run around. It was a very lame section in my opinion. It could have been cool because the character was OP as fuck, but you know, I guess you can't complain about everything. Again, this was handed between developers that had to rework it because Rockstar wanted open world, not what Capcom originally wanted. then there's the bosses. Like, you actually get to play one of the bosses later in the game. The boss I'm referring to is General Diego. He's a Mexican general, I believe. Yeah, General Diego. And he's one of the people that ended up getting the main character's parents killed at the beginning, Reds. And he has to have one of the hardest missions, in my opinion, because there's these cannons all the way over there, and they just shoot you, and you can't really take them out till later on. Yeah, I don't know. You just have to kind of see the gameplay of it to understand why it's a really bad section. On top of that, once you destroy those cannons that are fucking annoying to fucking destroy, there's also protecting the soldiers at the end. So you're doing an escort mission at the end. That's one of the most annoying shits. Though, then again, now that I think about it, when you're in the final chapter of the game, you assault a mansion and you have to protect Jack and Anne, and as Red, and it's really fucking annoying. But then again, escort missions are one of the most difficult things to design in a video game, because you're trying to get people to like the character, not hate the character that they're protecting, as well as making it enjoyable. It's very difficult. Anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. Thanks again, Pringle, for letting me do a Why We Love Video Games. I hope this one was good enough for use in the video, because I know my other take was extremely monotone, man.
Hey Oblivious, you did fine, man. Good job on my series, Why We Love Video Games. If anybody is ever interested in doing one, all you have to do is talk to me a little bit, tell me what kind of game or what game you would want to do, and then you can actually send me an audio clip and I could see if it's worth the edit or not. It has to be at least 8 to 10 minutes, I want to say, nothing past that. And you got to be concise with what you're saying and have good quality, like good quality. I don't want any kind of recording where it sounds like you recorded that joint straight out of a toaster and a microwave combined. But I said everybody. Anyways, everybody, take care. Much love and appreciation. Comment, subscribe, like, get the liking. Peace.